Shh. All right, let's see. Muting that in here. How do I do that? Well, that wasn't smart. All right, you guys, I think I just accidentally hid my chat. Not what I wanted to do. Show chat. There it is. All right. Manage my. Hey, House of Littles. How are you? Okay. Let's see. Hey, Creating Essence. You made it. I'm trying to get everything set up. There's a way that I could hold inappropriate comments, and I cannot figure it out. So I'm going to get there. All right. This has been such an exhausting few days. Hey, Tina. I hope that you can hear me just fine. And get everything straight. Okay, so I haven't slept in 4 nights. I'm serious. We have been sick from, oh my goodness, come on. I'm not feeling like a genius today. I'm going to tell you. So I haven't slept for 4 nights because when Hurricane Irma came through, it was just like, I knew it was going to set us up with our allergies. Well, it really did a serious number. And so I had one kid sick the night it came through. It was done coming through Monday night. It was done actually Sunday night. So Monday evening she was sick, and then we got home, and then it was like, it's been one kid after another. So I've been up all the time. So House of Littles is here, Creating Essence, Tina Wood's here. Hey, Kathleen, how are you? Compass made it, woo-woo. Peace and Pantry, Perfectly Chaotic Nest. I love that name. Hello, Kathleen. How are you? So I am 4 days of no sleep. You know, I've been trying to use what I had at the house. So what happened was, and it happens every time there's a hurricane, the barometric pressure changes, and then it makes all the mold and everything in the ground dirt level come up, kind of like right before rain. And my kids have allergies, and so it just mixes everything up and creates sinus infections. You're going to hear them coughing. They're so much better now. Let's see. Kathleen, Crystal made it in. Sherry says, hey, wow, you look much better than I do when I sleep. I've had like several rounds of coffee, and I didn't do my hair at all, but it's kind of got something going. I've got no video yet. Really, hit a refresh and see what happens. I hope it works. So anyways, the congestion, and so then they start getting mild fevers and stuff, and they've been coughing so hard that they vomit. Yeah. So last night, the littlest came into bed coughing, puked all over me in my bed. It was awful. And then she was up all night. We're not concerned about Maria. Actually, I'm more concerned about Zap TV. Remember 2 weeks ago, she's in Puerto Rico. And so I've been keeping up with her on Instagram. So go find Zap TV. So when I talked to her, they didn't have power for a couple of days, and then they got it on. And she was on the 3rd floor of her apartment, but they did okay. You know, not really a lot of damage. But now they have Maria coming, and it's going to be a Category 5 again. So I'm really, really concerned about her. And I'm hoping she's going to be okay. And of course, I'm looking for something I posted earlier that I can't find. And I want to grab my notebook so that I can write prayer concerns down as we go. Aaron made it. Aaron, glad to see you're home, safe at home. Sorry your family's under the weather. It's okay. It's normal. We get this way when it's can I have a pen? Can you give me a pen, please? That's not a pen, that's a highlighter. That's a marker. I'll get a pencil. Yes, we're praying hard for Puerto Rico. Yes. So, I want to write down Zap TV before I forget, because I am kind of mentally not all there. Okay, I want to do this shout out. This big time shout out. There is one person when I am on Instagram that is probably the most motivating homeschool mom ever. And I just have to do this right now. Compass Rose, I don't think she has a YouTube channel. She has an Instagram account called Zap TV. I will do something on Instagram sometime after this that you'll be able to find her, so you can keep up with her. And she's a single mom on top of it. Okay, so back to like the most inspiring homeschool mom on Instagram. No joke here. This is my huge shout out. You've got to follow her. She used to be on YouTube, and then she got off YouTube, and she shares every day, like multiple times, all the really cool stuff her kids are doing, how they're doing it through technology, what she finds at Goodwill. It is amazing. And it's Erin. So right there in the live chat right there, Erin Jahi, you've got to go and follow her on Instagram. And so she's telling me, she's like, I tried to do a 30-second flip through for you yesterday, and these kids would not stop screaming and yelling. You can upload it silently though, because I asked her, she got the new language lessons textbook, and one of the hard parts I had about the language lessons as a workbook is all the papers. And to be honest, I love textbooks, and I like to be able to kind of have a composition book where they're putting all their, oh, you're not public on Instagram? Oh, sorry you guys, you're missing out on the best secret ever on Instagram, which is Erin. She is phenomenal, and I'm always plugging her because she's so amazing. So just putting it out there for you. Sorry, Erin, you're gonna get flooded. I love you, girl. I love you. I think you're amazing. I think you're absolutely amazing. So I'm just always in awe. But anyways, I like textbooks, and I like the idea of keeping a composition book and kind of going as we went. But then to have this, I don't like chunky textbooks. In fact, I am having the hardest time with BJU and some of their books because they're so huge, and my kids don't like it. It's just overstimulating. There you go. But anyways, that should probably be another topic, unless you guys want it to be one. She's considering doing a public page, just not right now though. Y'all, when she does a public page, I'm gonna be the first one promoting it because she's awesome. Anyway, and okay, the other part too is, so I've met a few YouTubers in person. So Erin and I met through YouTubing, and then I lost her, and then I found her commenting on something, and then I followed her, and I aggravated her until she let me in. And then I got to meet her in person. And I met her in person this last July. Let me tell you, she is as amazing in person as she was on her YouTube and as she is in Instagram. Oh, my nose. Hey, Candy, how are you? Okay, so getting back to normal life. It has been a little bit chaotic here. I think most of the county now has electricity as of like 4 hours ago. Orville, really? Do you really have to do that? Okay. So we got power. We've had power. If you saw on Instagram yesterday, was it yesterday? Today is, what's today? Today's Tuesday, not Monday. Sunday night, I went to Walmart. They had nothing. They had like no bread and stuff. I have 2 Instagram accounts, but you have to like log in and log out to go back and forth to toggle between them. So I went to Walmart and they didn't have anything. They didn't have bread. They didn't have, in fact, I'm baking bread right now. So like in about 10 minutes, I'm going to have to like jump up and like change out my bread, pull my bread out. They had no bread, they had no milk, they had no eggs, they had no cheese, they had no sour cream, all that stuff. And apparently Walmart and another one of the grocery stores, I think Winn-Dixie, their generators never turned on the refrigerator aisle. Or the frozen food. Yeah, there's no frozen food either. I was like, I've been trying to diet and there's no vegetables to get at because there's no frozen food. So that has been nuts. But then this morning I made a run to the Dollar General, you know, where I'm talking about the Dollar General. It's like the little corner store that's like a mini Walmart. And I went there to go get, I got like the Zaxby's cough medicine for the kids because that one is like for 2 and up. And then I got some menthol rub. And then I got pain reliever and some saline spray or whatever. But I was in there, they had milk. They had like a little bit of bread, but they had milk. What does Aaron say? Sadly, a few of our local stores look just like yours, and we only had a tropical storm. I know, it's crazy because I didn't understand Georgia has like the worst infrastructure. Not the worst, but like it continually goes out, and that really blew my mind. I didn't realize, I mean, like I always kind of go into shell shock when we cross the Georgia line because the road condition on I-75 goes down immediately. And I was just in shock. I'm always in shock by that. But in Florida, I think we have really good infrastructure because we are a tourist state. Our revenue comes from tourism, so we want the tourists to come here and love the roads and the whole 9 yards. Walmart threw away trucks of food. Yeah, there, and they had no meat. Remember to hit the like button, ladies. Yeah, hit the like button. It's been kind of crazy. And, you know, so we, you'll remember, I'm kind of fighting it too. So I was just hitting the store for some basic, no necessities. I didn't need any necessities. I needed just comfort food, if that makes sense. I mean, I still spent a bundle in there. I can't figure out how I spent so much in there. But just wanting some comfort food, like some crackers and some cookies and stuff like that. And so I went in there for that. But as in being set up, we're really great. The only thing I really missed out on was I've never replenished my dry milk. So, okay, number one, I'm not really a prepper. But now with the hurricane, I'm like, prepping would be a little bit better. No, they haven't raised the prices because of the demand. They are just, when it's gone, is pretty much how it's going. There's been a few places, like we've had some gas stations that are crazy. Like it was like somebody spent $89 for 3 cases of water kind of deal. But that was before the hurricane hit, not after. And then the Dollar General didn't have ice. Like none of the places have ice because there's no ice to get. But the funny part with that is they're giving away truckloads of ice. Like there's so many places coming down, like the Red Cross and all that are just distributing ice, no big deal. But so we didn't really suffer. That's where I was getting at. We didn't really suffer at all. I think our power was down 3-4 hours before my husband got here and hooked a generator up. And then I had taken in like the ice cream jugs. I had taken the ice cream jugs and I had froze water in it in my deep freezers because I have 2 deep freezers and 2 refrigerators in my 700 square feet. But that's what's a necessity for my family and stuff. So my deep freezers, I started deep freezing 1 gallon cube blocks with an ice cream container. And then when they froze, I would pop them out and wrap them in Winn-Dixie bags or garbage bags or whatever I had, you know, the grocery bags. I'd stack them and make more. So I've been doing that all week leading up. Our temperature never dropped in the freezer. My 1 deep freezer, my husband gets ice at work. I made like 3 gallon cubes of ice. And then we went and got, he was filling it up with garbage bags full of ice. And so we filled that sucker full of ice, which is really nice now because I don't have an ice machine. And I'm just like scooping up ice. I'm like, oh. The gas did go up, I think about 75 cents. But, you know, I'm still kind of remembering when it was almost $4 a gallon that I'm still like, it's under $3. We're good. We're good. Yes, lots of eye-opening lessons with Irma. Gas went up. Yes, gas went up with us. Got to go back to prepping. It took 2 years off because of prepping, moving. Yes. And I'm kind of running into that. I have a hard time storing preps. I think I posted it on Instagram. I had chicken Alfredo. Well, the Alfredo can was a meal, was one of those meals you add water to. And I tend to keep on hand all the time onions, bell peppers, celery, and carrots. Mushrooms. I dehydrate the mushrooms myself, so I do my own mushrooms. And I keep those for my everyday stuff. Like I use the mushrooms and the celery a lot for when I have, there's this one recipe, it's like cream of everything soup. I call it cream, cream of awesomeness. And then it's like this powder mixture that you put together, and then you can add that, and then you instantly have a, cream of mushroom soup or whatever. So I keep those things. And then I bought about 2.5 years ago when I had the last baby, was I went and bought some of the instant meals. And now more than once we have eaten those up for lunch in our homeschool. There have been emergency days that we eat them up for lunch. And so I had those, and that worked out really good. And then my husband and we just hit, and for prepping or being prepared for a large family when you might not have power is hard because it's number 10 cans only. I mean, we just have to buy everything for number 10 cans. And so that wasn't bad. I could have done better, but I mean, we were fine on that. And we had plenty. We didn't even lose our milk. Talk about being blessed. We didn't even lose our milk. I mean, I have friends that are just, they're like, I mean, you got to go out and around the acreage to get to them. But I mean, they're a mile away maybe, but they're in the same hood, and they got their power on today. Today they got their power on, which has been crazy. So what's my brand of instant meals? I have Mountain something that you can buy at Walmart. I typically buy my dehydrated foods from 3 places. 3 or 4 places. Well, 3 because the 2 are the same. Walmart and Sam's. I've had them. I bought them online for years now from Walmart and Sam's, and that is Ogden Farms. Now, I'm not going to lie. I think most of their produce that comes from that is grown out of the country, and then they dehydrated or freeze-dried or whatever. I typically buy dehydrated, not freeze-dried. Daniel, please do that in your bedroom, but not in the hallway. Hot wheel tracks. Yeah, Mountain House. Walmart sells Mountain House, I think. Yeah. And so Walmart sells Mountain House and Ogden Farms. So I buy my single ingredient items from Ogden Farms off Walmart. And you get Mountain House from Walmart. I buy from the LDS cannery because you can have that shipped here. And the only things I like to get from them is like not the instant milk, but the dry milk because it's not instant. Potato flakes, carrots, apple slices, wheat. I buy the wheat. I don't buy the pasta or anything like that. And then my last one is the Ready Store. I find that the Ready Store is the best for price quality. If you know something different, leave me a comment down below. So I get that, and I get from them too. So those are like the 3 places I get from, and I kind of work off what's cheaper and what's better. And it works out really good. And I don't mind it at all, and it's not bad emergency food. And sometimes I consider homeschooling being emergency kind of days too. Hey, Charlene, how are you? I'm getting it together. Let's see. So Erin says she just ordered some powdered milk on Emergency Essentials. It was on sale, number 10 can. I need to write that down, Emergency Essentials. I haven't ordered from them. And, I kind of like it because it's like the milk, the powdered milk, you can do a lot with. You can do a lot with, not just drink the milk. So it works out really good. And, like, I would even throw it into my pancake mix because I like my pancakes made with milk. Erin says we go to our local LDS cannery too. I've never been to one. I just buy from them online and have it shipped, and it's so easy. In fact, I had made the provisions about a month ago because I'm like, um, we need to get back to making bread, and kind of being out of bread was a great excuse to jump back into making bread. So I have like my bread machine out, and I'm fixing to pull out a loaf of bread for you guys too that you'll get to see. And I forgot what my reason was. I forgot where I was going with that. Jimmy says, have you tried Aldi's? I love Aldi's, but there's a lot of convenient places to get to before I get to Aldi's. And I haven't been to Aldi's in 2 months. So I take it back, a month. So I've got to get back into Aldi's. But I keep a lot of canned stock. Like I like buying by the case the Rotel. We buy a lot of refried beans. I buy a lot of the big cans, and then I stash them too. So Erin from the LDS, she's buying the oats, the beans, the apples, the potatoes, and they're going to try the carrots. I love the carrots because I like throwing the carrots in chicken noodle soup. So I don't know how you would make that as vegan, but I'm sure like you'd probably use nutritional yeast to get your broth going along with your vegetable broth. But I like throwing the dehydrated carrots in there. Thrive Life has good freeze-dried food. I haven't used them. I've contemplated using them, but their price is kind of higher. And because I don't need to, I'm kind of, like iffy, like for a splurge. So a lot of the ones I use is convenience for my everyday, because you use what you store and store what you use. So I kind of go on that mantra kind of deal. So let's see, be prepared is another one. I'm writing these down. Be prepared. And and the other one was it Saratoga Farms? Saratoga Farms, I think it was, or Augusta Farms. I think at Walmart they had it where they had like these plastic totes, and then they had the bags in there, so it'd be like enough to open it up and make one meal. And I was like, those look so good. My sister, so Aldi cans are 35 cents a piece, which make them so nice. I'm waiting for Aldi's to stock back up before I make a run up there because it's like 25 minutes. My sister likes Thrive Life. Sometimes they have gold deals on bread too. I've been there too for like 25 cents a loaf, which is awesome. One of the things I'm doing is I want to get back into making bread because I can't remember the name, Bread Becker's, I think it is. And it has to do with the nutritional value of grinding your wheat. So I got a wheat grinder for my KitchenAid mixer. I'm going to tell you, I can't do more than about 4 cups in a day or in one sitting because it just heats up my KitchenAid mixer. 2 years ago, because I wanted to get into it and I knew that I was wearing out the gears, I actually, you can't get on Wi-Fi yet. She's got her tablet. She's like, hey, Mom, I did this, and this. She's messaging me through her dry erase board. So, okay, so the nutritional value of it. So I've ordered the wheat berries. I've ordered wheat berries from LDS. I even ordered wheat berries from Amazon that came in. So we ground it up and we're giving it a try and kick back in on our bread machine. But I like to mix it in the bread machine and then bake it in the oven is what I do. Okay. So Annette says, Trish, good to see you're doing well. I've started sourdough starters for many things. I need to do that. I tried to do it one time and it didn't work well. I need to do it again or go hit my neighbor up for part of his mother. I think because he told me his sourdough mother is from 1978. It's almost 40 years old. Wow. Thrive looks tasty but expensive. Yeah, I'm not there yet. So Jayton says that makes sense. I want to try Honeyville. I want to go into the Honeyville store. It kills me that like you can go to places and buy 25 pounds of this or of that or 50 pounds of these bags, and I'm like, but that's okay. Have I tried the butter powder? No, because it's so expensive, and I buy bulk butter and freeze it. So but I should. I've thought about doing the clarified butter. Now y'all are going to get into like, I'm really a big canning person. In fact, before the hurricane, I've debated on spending my time pulling out my canner because all my stuff is put up, but cleaning all the stuff, and I was going to can everything in my freezer. My favorite thing to can is bacon. I like to go, like, there's a place that you can get all the ends and trims of the bacon, so it's like really like not even 99 cents a pound. And I like to buy that, and then I finish chopping it up, and then I freeze them into half pints. And I do that so that whenever I want the bacon flavor in anything, I just add it in. It's good to go. It sits on the shelf. I did that for years, and since everything's happened to us last year, I haven't done it. I like Honeyville, and they email coupons, and they have sales at times. I'm gonna have to keep up with that. I have a Wonder Mill. I want a better grain mill. I need a better grain mill. I just have come close to buying one, but right now, being in a small house, I have to streamline life again better, so I have a place to store it. Streamline means go back to simple ingredients that I just keep a few ingredients on hand versus a lot. That's my big one. What do you recommend for a bread machine? Cheaper the better. That's what I recommend. We bought it. Oh, you bought it from Breadbeckers. Okay, Breadbeckers came to our homeschool convention the one year, and like, man, I could have spent some money and forgot the curriculum immediately. It was amazing. I am working on a bread machine that my father-in-law gave me. Any bread machine that has a dough setting is my favorite. As long as it's got the dough setting, you can, kind of fix it and forget it. So I like the dough setting because I can put everything in there, all my ingredients, the temperature I need it. I can pop it all in there. It does when it needs to be kneaded. It does the kneading for me. It lets me know when it's done, and I can make pizza. I can make dinner rolls. I can turn it into cinnamon rolls. I can turn it into everything. I really don't need the whole baking portion of a bread machine. I just need that whole kneading action going on. I don't need the oven to it. So that's the whole reason I like doing it. So if it says dough or pizza, that's the setting you need. You can make anything in there. And the other part is I don't like the hook. I don't like the hook at all. Fresh milled wheat is the bomb. Oh, gotta thrown off making bread, having babies in a hubby with gluten intolerance. Oh, what about dry canning flour? Bacon wouldn't seal for me. You probably had, hypothetically thinking, you might have had too much bacon in there. So you gotta definitely keep a full inch, if not more, headspace. Because I used to can sausage, bacon, kielbasa. I can meat all the time. I've been dreading buying another meal to dedicate to gluten-free. You should. I don't know. I say that I don't even own a good one, but I will. Yay, Tracy made it. Okay, I gotta take my bread out. I gotta, unplug. Let's see. 6 times less says, hey, how are you? Sorry, I'm late. It's okay, we're good. That's why we invested in a Vitamixer. But all right, so let's see. I might have cooked it too long. Okay, I didn't. Hold on. No, I'm not done. I'm getting my bread out, and they're being so lovely and patient with me. No, not what I'm on. No. Hi. Bye-bye. Okay, what do y'all think? This is my loaf from earlier today. I think I overbaked the other one. but that's my loaf. So let me go set this one back. Let me pop the other one out of the pan and let that one cool off, and I'll be right back with you. All right, sorry about that. All right, this recipe I used, which recipe? Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I would say, hey, this is the recipe I totally used, but except I didn't really follow it because I added molasses to it. Let's see, I did, of like the 4 cups of flour, I did half of it the milled, and then the other half was the bread flour. I'm gonna plug myself back in here. And then, but I kind of went off, let me grab this recipe. I went off, let's see. This is the recipe. No. Let me see. Okay. Let me see. I'm gonna copy it in here. Copy. Is this it? Is this it? Is this the right one? All right, here you guys go. You're gonna have to grab it. Okay. There's that's the that is the recipe I went off of today. But I added molasses. I did half of it bread flour, half of it ground flour. The reason I did that was I wanted the gluten in the bread flour to help the elastic. And then I added sunflower lecithin in there too. If that is not confusing enough, kind of deal. Okay, so what did I miss? Let's see. All right, so creating essence, that's why she invested in a Vitamix that we were able to use, when we were able to 1 year. It's a blender, food processor, more. And if you get the dry canister, it's a grain grinder, spice mill, coffee grinder, more. That, ooh. I just want so many toys. Okay, thank you, beautiful bread. Thank you. My daughter's going to want some of that bread. I know I had to make 2 loaves. My kids will kill that loaf quickly. Beautiful. I bet it smells good. It smells really good. I'm not eating it because I'm trying to keep it to a minimum and I'd have no ability. All right, so I gave you my recipe. Can I the constant conversation at my house. I used to bake bread all the time, but I haven't in years. You know, and I did that too. I actually had a recipe somewhere in my pin world. There was like the master bread mix one, and you essentially mixed everything in there, and then you just scooped it out and threw it into your bread machine with, what was it? You did that and you threw it in your bread machine with just water and oil and yeast, and you were done. Like everything else was that you needed to be there, and it was perfect every time. And I made a lot of that. But that goes back into, and I'd buy like the big bag, the 25-pound bag of bread flour. And I used to buy that all the time. And then really reading about the nutritional value of eating the entire wheat berry versus just what we're buying at the store. I'm really torn. I can't bring myself to go back there. We go through so much bread. So I'm hoping, I popped out 2 loaves today and it wasn't really bad. I have it kind of set to the side. I should show you that, but I'll fall over if I walk too much. So I have like the bread machine to the side, pulled the bread machine, plugged it in, and used it at the table. Once it was done, I put it away and it was done. And the nice bread, I'm not gonna lie, let me tell you a little secret about a bread machine. So I don't bake in it. And what I do is I pop the little canister out, I pull all the bread out. I don't clean it. Okay, I know y'all are like, what? I don't clean it until the next time I use it, because you try to clean it and it gets gummy with like the leftover flour, or you wait till it dries up and then you can wipe it down and then you do a quick clean, and it's so much quicker to clean if you let it dry. You got to do what's right in your house, but in my house, that's so much easier. All right, I think I'm gonna make some for dinner. Jimmy loves gonna go buy a bread machine. You should. You know, I love them at the thrift store. I like to buy them at thrift stores. I try to buy a lot of my small appliances from the thrift store. especially a bread machine. And that one right there, I dropped. Well, you didn't ever even seen it. I dropped my last bread machine twice. My son is now begging to make bread, making bread like that, or banana bread. What kind of bread machine do you use? It was a free one I got. I mean, there's nothing spectacular. That's like my fourth one. And I literally just buy the one at the thrift store. Just the cheap, Goodwill, whatever's there. If I can get it for 10, 15 bucks, that's all I buy. I like to buy one that's about 2 pounds, but I don't care. Because like I said, I only use it for the pastry setting. I don't bake it. I never bake in it. Will you stop rolling my rug up, please? Well, you've been sticking your toes under it, and now it's all curled up. Okay. So I've tried making bread, spelt bread with seed. My favorite bread is Montana wheat, high fiber, and chai seed. Woo! Huh, I haven't gotten that creative. I know that sounds crazy, but I haven't. I should, but I like to mess with one. I bought a hand grinder one because I thought maybe it would do better, but it's getting moved right out to the chicken feed because it didn't grind. It would like literally send the wheat berries between. And so I'm like, okay, I got to use my KitchenAid mixer. But I think the big part comes down to is your grinding. So I do have the Bread Becker's book, and it was crazy because I don't want to say this too loud, but listen, I got ADHD. I got somebody who will come afterwards and comment some nasty thing. Every live show, she nasty comments because of ADHD. And there's this joke about ADHD people get so excited at the treasures they find when they find things they didn't know they had. Oh, that's been this week, all week already. But I'm like, I need the Bread Becker's cookbook. So I bought it. I was going through something. I found it. I now have 2. I might do a giveaway once I find the other one again. But they talk about going through and doing the spelt. So you got to try that. Katie, will you find that Bread Becker book up there for me? I think it's the one on its side. I'll show you it. So anyways, so yeah, we had no problem after the hurricane with the food. I probably could have done a little better prepping, but I didn't. But I mean, I did fine. I did so much better than most. Okay, this is the book, Homegrown Flour. And the reason I put that on there is in that there is a whole part about, let me see if I can grab this real quick. I just saw it. Story of my life. Let's see. Next page. Oh, they don't say it on here, but they talk about getting into all the different wheats, or not the different wheats, the different grains, and how to have spelt and all quinoa if you wanted to bake with quinoa, if you wanted, all the different types of things. I'm too lazy making bread by hand. I don't think I'm too lazy. I just have too much to do to make that time. I think that there'll be a day that I can, but right now I can't afford the time to do that. So I hate to say I'm too lazy, because then somebody's going to be like, you shouldn't be so lazy. You got all them kids and you homeschool. Get off social media. I've been having like the joy of like just some crazy trolls lately, but that's another story. So anyways, so now I feel like I got to correct myself beforehand. Don't call myself lazy. Give the truth. There's just no time for that. So we handled that. The other part is we handled really well is we had really good generators. Now, when we stayed with my father-in-law, he had a propane, he has a generator permanently attached to the house with a propane tank. The propane never goes bad. When all they had to do was they had it primed and ready, so when the power went off, they went out there and flipped the switch, and awesome. It was awesome. So here we had to keep moving gas around in the whole 9 yards. And so one of the things I realized is when I build a house, my house, and I could do it here if I wanted to, I just don't think we're going to be here that long, is I am going to get a propane setup, and I'm going to have a propane stove and oven, and I'm going to have a propane generator. Those are like the future things that are going to come on. My husband and I realized that real quick. We're like, that is a necessity, because The other part too is the mobile home made it just fine. We didn't lose anything. We actually left here with the heart of we weren't coming back to anything. Like, we just emotionally left with that. So when you got my like 2-minute video of like, everything is great, you know, I was beyond ecstatic because I really personally expected nothing. So we're here, but the reality, and I know that some of our talks 2 weeks ago was like, why don't you evacuate? Do you know what it's like to evacuate with 6 kids? 6 kids. And it's such, oh my goodness. And then to be able to transport all your food, all your water, and everything you need, it's so much. So much. And so my husband's just like, he goes, I've moved and changed. So I don't think we're getting a mobile home at all. This, I think, is our only mobile home we'll have. He's like, we're building a house. And that sucker is going to be hurricane proof. So he's like, no longer a big house, I'm building it. And I'm like, not too small of a house, please. Not a tiny house, but, you know, a decent sized house. So now he's like, let's make sure that we have the, you know, just a decent sized house that can settle us, that we can afford, but we have the windows we need, the walls we need. We have the propane, and I like that, a propane water heater, you know, that we're set up. He goes, we are not leaving. Again, it is so much work to leave. So he's just like, we're not leaving again. Southern Dawn Home Living says, hey, from Georgia, we just got involved in our local 4-H. Very excited for all the new opportunities for my kids. I love 4-H. I bleed green. This actually, today and yesterday, was supposed to be our club meetings, because I do the filmmaking club and the sewing club in the area. And they were canceled. They were canceled, one, because my kids are sick. And they're also canceled because it's the staging area for all of the linemen where it's at. So they're like, this week it's not happening. But you're going to love it. We have been looking into all the leadership now that we're kind of got middle schoolers in there. And so it's time to go. So troll. I know I don't have anybody to make sure that I don't have anybody with a wrench today here. Peace and Pantry, are you up for the job? You said what? You do what works for your family. That's right. That's what we're going to do. That bread looks so yummy. I want a slice. It is so fantastic. So definitely propane hot water, because you can take a hot showers without water. And that's been a lot of things going on too, is like with the propane, or not the propane, with the generators. You know, a lot of people have the generators in that if they're on well, they're running the well and they're running the refrigerators in some basic electricity. And that's it, you know, so there's no water heater and there's no, you know, no oven cooking at all, because you've got to, you know, keep it going. So we've had that. So some of the big things has been, we literally bagged up everything in the house, boxed it up, and took it to the house that had flooded, and lifted everything in case it flooded. And it has spent all last week now, just trying to get everything back together. You know, it's been really hard, like trying to get things back together to like school, and all of the school stuff was separated. So like all of my really cool cube shelves. Oh, I just lost, you know, like those cube shelves. They were all empty. And then the kids have been sick, and so they're kind of laying around. We've been doing a lot of just, I don't know, playing on the tablet, to be honest, because it's not really safe to be outside. There's so, you know, much. And that has been rough. So I've spent the last few days, I finally yesterday got the last of their school stuff, brought it back in the house, and so we can do our work. And that's been good. That has been so good. And just trying to find that normalcy again. And so we're kind of getting there. Ooh, UPS man. Hey, Bubba, go out there and get the UPS package from the man, please. No, it's the UPS guy. I just seen the brown van coming through. We have been doing a ton of, are you up for a piece? I'm totally giving you a, you're going to be a troll slayer. I love it. I love it. Let's see, add as moderator. I love it. I'm sorry, just lost all train of thought. Never been a troll slayer. He's actually getting, so some of the stuff I've been working on is I've got to make a video of like some big mistakes I did in ordering BJU. One of them is just buying the blanket grade level for each kid. I should have waited and taken the time to really look through the curriculum because I would have noticed a lot of things right off the bat. And I thought we could kind of get through them. But for like my son, he was a delay to read because of the ADHD and everything else. He just took him longer, and it took him third grade. Well, I put him at grade level. He's not getting it all. So I made a lot of decisions. I have fourth grade everything. So I just jumped him down for reading, spelling, and English. And I'm like, you know what? I'd rather go slow and everything's easy than for you to go through the motions and nothing works or nothing's sticking. So I know UPS just dropped off his books. The other thing too is I've been like going through all of my, so as I've been gathering everything back out of storage, I've been finding new things. And I don't need to do a schoolwork unboxing. Will you shut the door? See is what it was. So I have, you'll see when you go Peace and Pantry, when a troll shows up, you can go on the right. I don't think this is, okay, so apparently this person's right here is a troll. So there's 3 dots next to them. And then all you got to do is click that and block. So when you, hey, stop, leave them alone. So when the 3 dots on the side, when you click on that, you'll see the little 3 dots come up on the side. And when you click, it will give you the ability to block. It says just block. So I got that one too. I'm telling you, man, troll magnet today. So, oh, what was I saying to you? Oh, so I was looking at JDA. She is on YouTube. She hasn't been she kind of took a pause that on making YouTube videos, but she has this really cool binder where she's got these pictures she's made and she laminated them, and they're pre-K interactive. So I have like a lot of lap books, but I don't really use them because they take a lot of work to get out. So what she's done is she took, Bubba, please don't. So she took them and laminated them and then did them Velcro. So then you got these different pages and you flip through the book. So my 2-year-old's into everything. My 4-year-old's kind of not into anything. He just does his own thing. He's like a little mastermind of stuff at times, building things. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to go through and kind of make them interactive, because I can already see that like the motor skills are not going to be there like they usually are. And build that. So I'm going through all of my file folder games. I went and, let's see if I can pull them out. I mean, I've got some like crazy file folder games. Like I even did them like this. This is one, like the Busy Beaver one. And this is matching florals. So see. And I did them as an envelope. Well, I'm just going to go and put them on a page and laminate them and make these interactive pages. And so what I figured is I got a big 3-inch binder, and I'll just make a bunch of them, because I bought those file folder books that are really cool, and just go ahead and organize them up and do them. And then that way I've got it and I can pull it out for whoever needs it. And I don't know if this is just to give me something to do because I can't do certain things, but it'll let them have kind of really good constructive ways to interact with stuff that isn't always on a tablet. Kind of old school. Creating Essence says, it says so much about a person that they have to go through live video and be hateful to others. I feel so bad for them. You know, the things they do to feel important, right? Perfectly chaos is right. Makes absolutely no sense to go out of your way to be hateful. I've got some crazy people showing up. I guess. I mean, I'm so close to 5,000 subs, but I mean, I have one that rips. I mean, it doesn't. There's nothing you can say to them. They've gotten just crazy. But I figured the more I try to give like, hey, maybe my channel's not for you kind of comment, but they just keep going. I'm like, yeah, leave me alone. Because a lot of times you're just adding gas to the fire, making it worse. So I've been trying to like come up with more interactive things to do with my little kids. And then at the same time, not getting so much or too much that, I've gotten all my supplies. So I'm going to work with actually getting all of these out of the file folders and moving them onto laminated pages. My tribe. Hey, Sodbuster. I had to give Peace and Pantry. You got to take that in your bedroom, son. The hot rods, man, the Hot Wheels. So I wasn't prepared for the amount of time it would be to put my house back together after Irma. And then I'm hoping by the end of this week, like our groceries will be a little bit more normal than before. Would be good. But I think our county's down to like very little bit. My husband had to go to work. He actually had to go to work and set up the generators. So they had the generators to the server room, but then he set up the generators for everything else. Sorry about the Hot Wheels. To be able to let everybody go back to work. So he's been working, but now he's come down with it. So he's home sleeping. But I know there's like several areas that are just bad. And I know there's areas in this where I'm at, they're waiting for the water to come down. So it's just nuts. It's just nuts. So, for the funds to have a missions trip to go and help. We got a lot of people. It's been really cool. Our church is Orville. James. Go take that in the bedroom, please. He's not going to take it in there. Crazy. I don't do my hair, and it's apparently a problem for a lot of people. But you know what? My husband don't have a problem with it, so that's what matters. Now apparently a knockoff of Ellen DeGeneres. We've got the different churches that have set up and they're serving food, and then there's been a lot of the women that have the power, that have electricity on, they are going and they're collecting the clothes for the linemen. So they go and collect the clothes for the linemen, and then they wash their clothes at night and send them back. And a lot of them are going out finding them and serving them food and drinks and stuff like that. Tatiana, how are you? So, we're getting back into normal. All right, so we got about 6 minutes. I better get I already lost my pencil again. Let me take prayer requests. I know you probably, can you turn the TV down, please? Addie, Baba, turn the TV down. So, but yeah, we learned some new things and we did really good. We did really good. Let's see. That's right. Your family's in Fort Myers. They have a lot. Like my husband went through the area of Lehigh and he's like, it is the worst there. For some reason, they just like pooled all the water. And so there's so many places that are out of water, or not out of water, that are just underwater. And that has been nuts. I know next time, Peace and Pantry, because I tried getting you this last time, but next time you come to town, we catching up. Katie says, I think you look cute, better than my Albert Einstein look. I don't know. I have days where I think about it. I'm like, because I was going to go and grow it out. And then I don't think I like it when it gets so thick on the sides, but then it's so thick on top. And if I would have gotten, if I would have gotten sleep in the last 4 days, I might have done something to it, but I didn't. Oh, well, I don't even care. I don't know. I haven't decided, but then when it gets so long, it's so long. And it's just heavy. I love how comfortable you are with us. I love watching your channel. Thank you, Perfectly Chaotic Nest. I enjoy being with you guys. I really do. It's weird because it's like I'm just reading you as we go, but I'm really good at just talking, so it doesn't, works out good. Need prayers for a couple people in our church. Okay, Tracy. All right, turn it down. You probably need to go outside. All right, Tracy. All right. Prayers for a couple people in our church. We've had a hard time with, they're rebuilding as fast as they can. I got pulled away by a phone call, so I'll have to catch the replay. You pretty much missed all the trolls showing up. You got all the trolls that kept coming up. So so the power came down, and a lot of it, like the trees just took lines down. And I mean, we've been watching trucks go by with the transformers, the semis, and they have been, so, like they're doing as fast as they can. As fast as they can. And because of that, there's been people that have just been miserable, and they've just been hateful and the whole 9 yards. And it has been sickening watching these people just get out there. And like they're bashing the linemen. These linemen are working like crazy. I think they're working 12, 14 hours a day on one meal in the heat, in places you do not want to go. And these people are out there saying, you're awful. You haven't fixed my house. And it's like, really? Are you serious? See you, Annette. So it's just been, listen, my hair is perfect for me no matter where I go, because I kind of don't care. Let's see. Tracy also has one for a 5-year-old. Had a seizure today. She has bronchitis. Rob says, at least you survived. I did survive. I did. We survived well. We were comfortable. We weren't miserable. None of it was that bad. I mean, we had power out for a little bit, but then we're good. There's so many more people who had it worse nearby. So it was like, nothing to complain about. On things needful, Lord, this treasure teach me highly to regard. All else, though, it first gives pleasure, is a yoke that presses hard. Beneath it is the heart. The heart is still fretting and striving. No true lasting happiness ever derives. The gain of this one thing, all else can requite, and teach me in all things to find true delight. Right. You have, P says she has family in the Cape too. Yeah, they've got, they've had it pretty bad. Arab says, my grandma and grandmother passed away in Houston. I am so sorry. All right, Arab, we're praying for you. All right. You got 1 more minute. Any more prayer concerns? Don't watch. Please don't watch. I asked you to go outside. Please go. All right. We had a. It's about to go. That was a 13-year-old falling off the couch. My 3-year-old, almost 13, my 3-year-old daughter has recently started having health issues. I'd love prayer for strength to get through it all and her continued healing. Perfect. Chaotic. Yes. My 3-year-old daughter health. And strength. All right. Oh, you're welcome, Arab. How are you doing, though? How is it going for you? Because that is hard. And it's, you know, it's like we prepare ourselves for our grandparents' passing, but at the same time, for it to happen because of, you know, unnatural, you know, not because their body was done, but because of the situation, is so much harder. Julie says, prayers for my best friend. Prayed for her in live before Irma. Her mom was on a ventilator. She passed away last week, almost 6 weeks after her dad died. Okay, so that's Julie's. Okay. Now, yeah, I'm sorry. That's hard stuff. All right, so we're 2 minutes past. All right. All right. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you just for the blessings you've given us. 2 weeks ago, we came together and we talked in hopefulness with unexpectedness in my situation and some of the situations around me, Lord, and now we're coming on the other side of it. And yet we have Zap TV, who isn't here today, but she has a second Hurricane 5 coming to her in 2 weeks, dear Lord. And I know that none of this is a shock to you, Lord, and that your will is true and good. Lord, I just a hedge of protection around the entire island of Puerto Rico, dear Lord. Just be with those people. They've suffered a lot already, and the fear has got to be great. Lord, calm their hearts, and let them seek peace with you. Dear Lord, be with Tracy as she's dealing with just what's around her. Lord, be with the people that's in her church, and just coat them. You know what the struggle is that's there, and Lord, just let them come through. Lord, be with the 5-year-old that's dealing with the seizures and the bronchitis, Lord, and just be the great physician to heal her. Dear Heavenly Father, be with Arab as she's dealing with the loss of his grandparents. I know how hard that is, and then to have it done through a natural disaster, even harder, because you sit there with the what ifs and should have dones and all of that. Lord, let a peace go over the heart for the entire family, Lord. Let them call to you and rest in you and have peace in you with these circumstances. Dear Heavenly Father, be with perfectly chaotic Nest as she's dealing with the health issues she has for her 3-year-old daughter. Lord, give her strength to be who she needs to be for her daughter, dear Lord, and just bring healing to her daughter. Dear Lord, be with Julie's friend. Now she's lost her mother, and she's just lost her dad, and that feeling of being alone has got to be so huge. Give her just rest. Let her rest in you. Lord, you know that what my problems are, and you know what I'm dealing with and the health concerns we have, dear Lord, in our home. Please bring healing there so that we can be back. Lord, when we are forfeiting our will to be in yours, and it's a lot of times, sometimes it comes in contradiction to what we want. Lord, let us have an excited heart to do it. Lord, I know that I live in that so many days, dealing with just some of the circumstances that have happened in the last year. And Lord, I relinquish my will to be in yours. And Lord, I just pray and ask for just the excitement to be in that will, to have that will be as though it's my idea and it's my desire. And Lord, make it to be that. In your son's precious name I pray. Amen. All right. Arab, I'm sorry. My grandparents raised me too, and I just lost my last one 2 years ago. Cynthia Harrison made it. Thank you. Me, myself, and I haven't seen you in like all summer. Hey. All right. I'm going to see you guys later. We will talk next week. And my kids are about to make me crazy. They're literally behind the camera, behind the computer, like just trying to get my attention. Maybe I'll go eat some of that. All right. Just teasing. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.